Welcome to Baking Magic with Maddie. I'm your host, Maddie. I love to bake. It's one of my favorite things ever. I love baking chocolate eclairs. I love baking chocolate cakes, chocolate brownies, chocolate anything. Chocolate is amazing. This is my recipe book. It's called Delish Insane Sweets, and it has so many delicious recipes inside. My best friend Calliope got it for me. Shout out to you, Calliope. And since I was talking about all this chocolate that I love, yum, you'd think that we're making something chocolatey. You're wrong. We're making snickerdoodle cookies. And in case you want the recipe, I'll drop it right here for you. And also, during this video, I'm going to teach you how to double a recipe because it takes a lot of math skills and fractions. Let's get started with these snickerdoodle cookies. The first thing that you're going to need to do is to line your baking sheets with parchment paper. The reason you do this step is so that the cookies don't stick to the pan. And parchment paper is a good way to make sure that they don't burn or stick. And once you've done that, preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Wow, how did all of these perfectly measured ingredients get here? I think it's the magic of baking magic with Maddie. The first step is to whisk together 2 1/2 cups of flour. To double this is 5 cups of flour. The next part is 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. If you want to double this, have 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar. And to double this, 4 teaspoons. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. To double this, 2 teaspoons. 1 teaspoon of salt, and to double, 2. Now I'm mixing together the ingredients, and make sure when you're, especially with powders, not to overmix. Also, cream of tartar is a very important part of snickerdoodle cookies. It's the leavening agent which makes the cookies light and fluffy. The reason why I'm making snickerdoodle cookies today is because my sister and I love to bake, and the last couple things that we've made have been made with chocolate, and my mom has gotten tired of it. And now I'm going to whisk together the ingredients. Because it'll all be one color. Now, set aside. The next step is to cream the butter and sugars together. So, cut the butter into chunks and put it inside a standard hand mixer or hand blender. If you're not familiar with it, have an adult help. You're going to put in 2 sticks of butter, and if you're doubling, 4. The next step is to put in the sugars. For the granulated standard sugar, you're going to put in 1 cup, or if you're doubling, 2. And the next step is to add brown sugar, which you need 1/2 cup of, and if you're doubling, 1 cup. And make sure when you're measuring out the brown sugar that it's packed. Now, we're going to put it inside the hand mixer and wait until light and fluffy. And when you're using the hand mixer, make sure that it is locked so that it stays down. And also to keep your hands out of the way. It's very unsafe to have your hands near the hand mixer. And put it on a medium-low speed. As you can see, it's getting light and fluffy, but it's not there yet, so keep mixing. And remember, every so often, scrape down the sides of the bowl. Using a rubber spatula is best. Now we're going to crack the eggs. Add the them one at a time and make sure that there are no shells inside. And it's good to crack them in a separate container so that you can add them one at a time and so that you can check for shells. That's what I mean. You don't want a crunchy cookie. Now, I see a shell in mine. That didn't go very well. And make sure to wash your hands after handling an egg. And now, mix it at a medium-high speed. Wait until it's all mixed in before you add the second egg. The dry ingredients with the wet ingredients. To get yourself started, you can start with a spoon. Start at a low speed. And once you're in the clear of not getting powder in the face, move it up a little bit quicker. This dough looks just right. Now we're going to whisk together the sugar and the cinnamon. It's going to be like the icing on the cookies, I guess. If you are doubling, add a ½ cup of sugar. And if you're doubling, add 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. Now whisk together. Now for the fun part, we're going to get the cookies on the cookie sheet. The first thing you're going to do is get a spoonful of dough and roll it out. Then you're going to put it in the cinnamon sugar we just made. Make sure that they're at least 2 inches apart. This dough will be kind of sticky, so try not to touch it as little as possible. Now we're going to put the cookies in the oven, but be careful, the oven is very hot. And set a timer for 13 minutes. Something smells delicious. We should take the cookies out of the oven. And be careful not to burn yourself in the hot oven. These look absolutely delicious. Now we're going to let the cookies cool for 1 minute on this. Then, after that, we're going to put them on the cooling rack for them to cool completely. Wow, they look just like the picture. These cookies look very good. They're crispy on the outside and warm on the inside. These are really good. Thanks for baking with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.